Hundreds have gathered to see the finish of the Sydney Hobart yacht race, the Line Honours victory, which is going to be claimed by Comanche. It will be its 5th win, and you might even be able to see over my right shoulder Comanche making its way up the River Derwent. It is absolutely motored up the river this afternoon. We're expecting a finish a little later tonight, maybe around 8:30, but the conditions have been absolutely perfect for Comanche to take full toll, make its way up the River Derwent and claim what will be a 5th Line Honours victory in the Sydney Hobart. It was getting about it was being aided by 7 knots of a southeasterly coming up the River Derwent. There was no parking lot this year, as we see some years in the Sydney Hobart, maybe more around the morning hours where the yachts become stalled in the River Derwent. Instead, we've seen Comanche aided by very favourable breezes to glide up the River Derwent from Law Connect and Scallywag. We're expecting the sound of a cannon very, very soon to signify that Comanche will win this year's Sydney Hobart on Line Honours. And what a memorable Sydney Hobart it's been. Rough conditions, tough conditions for the entirety of the fleet, 33 retirements and that 3-way battle that we witnessed down the east coast earlier today. But as will be confirmed very, very shortly, Comanche set to be crowned Line Honours victor for the 5th time very, very shortly.
Yeah, Chris, we're just seeing some pictures of Comanche coming down. Certainly has some speed behind it. Just explain to us, when you talk about Line Honours versus sort of the overall winner of this race, just take us through exactly what that means and why we may not know sort of an overall winner for some time.
So the Line Honours winner of the Sydney Hobart is essentially first past the post. It's the fastest boat to Hobart, and that is usually won, well, more often than not, if not all the time, by one of the 100-footers, the super maxis that are bigger, they're heavier, they have the bigger sails, and they are able to gather far more speed and catch far more wind than their smaller counterparts. The overall win, or the winner of the Tattersalls Cup, that is done by a calculation that takes in a whole range of factors, the size of the boat, the weight of the boat, and whatnot, to determine the overall win. So a 50-footer on handicap might beat a 100-footer when you take into account the conditions, the size, the crew, and all of those sorts of things. It is the trophy that the purists are more interested in, the Tattersalls Cup. And speaking of, the skipper of Comanche this year is Matt Allen, and he is set to be a Line Honours victor aboard Comanche this afternoon, and he has claimed 3 overall wins with Ichiban before, as we hear the horn and the official signalling of victory in this Sydney Hobart. Comanche, a 5th Line Honours victory, and you can hear the applause behind me from the hundreds of spectators who have gathered here in Hobart to witness this victory from Comanche. And as the pictures are showing, there's some celebrations already taking place aboard the Super Maxi. It's wonderful scenes, a daylight finish, which we rarely get in the Sydney Hobart as well. And you can see some of the relief as well on board Comanche. They had to stave off Law Connect and Scallywag, which at one point was leading this race on Line Honours in the early hours of this morning after making a decisive move in lighter winds, but Comanche proving too strong, as you can see, and what a fantastic win it will be for Comanche for a 5th time, what has been a memorable race.